All right, let's stay with the story and go to SABC political reporter Natasha Phiri, who's standing by to bring us the very latest. Natasha, a court battle, a showdown is looming. We understand it around 6:30, but the outgoing leadership does not appear to be fazed by this.
Definitely, Bongiwe. And I mean, we've seen the script play out, but except that it's in a different province. Same script, but in a different province. Of course, that interdict or that urgent court application will be heard at 6:30, which is just about less than 30 minutes away. And of course, this has been a very contentious issue, Bongiwe. On Thursday, before this conference had actually started, when delegates were getting their tags, I beg your pardon, the NEC had a special NEC meeting, and of course the NEC resolved and instructed the PEC to actually deal with this matter. Yesterday the PEC came out and said that those 19 votes from those 5 branches in Ekurhuleni remain quarantined, and one disgruntled member from the ANC in Ekurhuleni, particularly Ward 83, Jabulani Sithole, had actually filed that urgent court application. But actually, just to unpack this issue with us, we're joined by my political editor Mzwandile Mbete, who's been very busy today. I know you've been up since the early hours of the morning, and of course you came to join us. Mzwandile, we were just saying to Bongiwe, which this is the same script but in a different province.
Yeah, I think this is indicative of the difficulties the ANC as a governing party is going through at the moment. In fact, you would expect a province like this, which is on the verge of losing power, to be more united in how it deals with issues. But the fact that they couldn't handle those 19 votes, because as soon as you raised those issues, they simply wouldn't agree. So clearly, this conference, if that matter is not resolved, is not likely to go ahead. I mean, you put it so well in your intro there to say same script, different province, but same script. So, well, maybe except Limpopo, which went on smoothly, yes, to give them some bit of credit. But what basically is going to happen here, if that issue is not resolved, is that we will have a situation that you saw in Eastern Cape, in Ekurhuleni, where the conference took the entire 4 days without discussing anything, only elections. It's day 2 today. Nothing substantive has been done. Tomorrow it's supposed to be the closing day. So this issue really, if the ANC is not careful, because they seem to be so inward looking, yes, they may have forgotten about the bigger picture, that Gauteng is on the verge of leaving them.
And also the issue of time. I mean, it's 6 o'clock right now. Delegates are only going to plenary right now. Credentials haven't been presented or adopted at all. The organizational report is still outstanding, the financial report as well. What does this also speak to?
It basically tells you that they are more worried about who is here than what policies and issues they need to address to deal with to change the quality of the lives of the people. Because, I mean, Natasha, at the end of the day, it's not so much about who attends here, but it's about what are those policies that will impact positively on the lives of people. I mean, just about everyone is complaining about conditions getting worse. If you see people, these people are charged with the responsibility of changing those conditions. But instead of doing that, who is here, who is not here? It is a problem. And I think as they head towards 2022 in December, this is the issue they need to look at. That leadership that will be elected in December has a mammoth task to deal with these matters.
You talk about December, which actually brings me to my next question. I mean, this is a highly contested, provincial conference, but I'm in the greater scheme of things, what does it mean for the elective conference later on this year? It's quite interesting that, both slates, that of Panyaza Lesufi and that of Lebogang Maile, have refused to pronounce their preferred candidate going to Nasrec as to who will come back or who will be elected as president of the ANC.
So they find it very difficult because right now it's a game of calculations. You pronounce now, you find that you have miscalculated. Going into December, so you find that you are on the losing side. So it's a game of calculations. That's why I'm saying whoever is going to be elected, I think the ANC has a massive task to try and bring itself back to what it was created for. Because right now it's about elections, it's about who, in fact, some people are saying all of this is because they want the access to resources. So those resources need to trickle down to ordinary people. Is it happening? I mean, it's anyone's guess right now.
And I mean, just lastly, do you actually see conference closing tomorrow?
Depending on what the court case will do this evening. If the court case pronounced otherwise, so it will be a different matter. So, but you can see it's very difficult, honestly. It is.
And of course, the ANC very adamant that this conference will actually go on ahead of time. Of course, that was my political editor, Zwandile Masina. I beg your pardon. Before I cross back to you, I just want you to see what's happening here behind me, Bongiwe. If I'll just step out of the shot, of course, you have delegates there waiting to go inside plenary. But of course, these delegates are in support of Lebogang Maile. Some of them singing Adiwele. Of course, you would know, that this is the tagline or the banner of the slate of Lebogang Maile. And for those who don't know what Adiwele means, Adiwele, loosely translated, just basically means to cross over. So what Lebogang Maile's campaign stands for, he's basically saying that he wants young people, to be afforded the opportunities to get into leadership positions of the ANC. We've heard them saying time and time again that it's not so fair that, what they call eldership should actually stay in these positions of power, and they want to bring in a generational mix. They want to bring in more younger people into leadership positions, of course, of the ANC. A highly contentious issue here, of course, of that urgent court application, and which will be heard at 6:30. Let me just ask this delegate. Okay, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
So you're a delegate. You've came for conference, but conference, you haven't started really, essentially.
No, we haven't started. We are just about to start now with credentials.
But how do you feel? How does it make you feel that the whole day was wasted?
Maile has already won the conference, unfortunately. 60%.
Are you confident that he's won?
More than 600.
And the court's application?
We did the head count. More than 600 delegates.
And the court's application?
That one, they are done with it. It doesn't work. They're going to deal with it after the conference.
Thank you so much. Well, Bongiwe, you've heard the lady, one of the delegates, saying that this court application has no bearing whatsoever on this conference. She's quite confident that Lebogang Maile will actually win outrightly here in this conference, but it remains to be seen as well. But of course, do stay tuned to SABC News as we bring you all the latest in regards to the 14th Provincial Conference of the ANC in Gauteng. With that said, it's back to you in the studio.
Natasha, I must say though, thank you so much for translating what Adiwele means, because I've been asking myself as to what exactly it means when you translate it, because we've heard Panya Panya, we also now hearing Adiwele. So thank you for translating for the viewers there and myself, of course. That is Natasha Phiri, who was talking to us about the developments at the Gauteng conference of the ANC. Credentials have not yet been adopted. The business of the conference has not gotten underway. The president was meant to come and address this particular conference, as we understand from our colleague Samkela Masego as well today, and that simply not happening. But we are watching that court case pending.